Hi guys, my name's Sinead. I'm going to guide you through a short sequence of movement on the chair for prenatal yoga. So for this sequence you're going to need a sticky mat. Doesn't matter if you're on carpet, as you can see I have carpet here, but my mat is nice with a nice grip, and I have a chair. So any chair that you have that you can use, it needs to be sturdy. It can be a dining room chair, a kitchen chair. Mine's just a folding chair which I use for my yoga classes. So we're going to get started here with some breath. Take the hands together at heart center. Let's rub the palms together and create some heat and energy in the palms. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears, and I want you to feel like you're growing tall through the spine. The crown of the head is reaching up towards the sky. And then bringing your palms down onto baby. Let your shoulders soften, maybe tuck your chin, and let's take a few deep breaths here. Breathing in through the nose. And exhale, sighing the breath out. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, part the lips and sigh the breath out. One more breath in. And exhale. Noticing the mind start to quiet down here. Leave all your worries and stress outside of the room that you're in. And visualize in your mind the baby inside your belly, welcoming them into the practice today. Knowing that as you move through this practice, they move with you. They can feel the rhythm of your body, the rhythm of your heart. And if at any time you need to rest, just coming back to a seated pose, maybe a child's pose, and find that connection to the breath again. At the bottom of your next exhale, blinking the eyes open softly, and we'll bring the hands to heart center. Take an inhale, sweep the hands up and around, reach it up to the sky, and on your exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. On your inhale, interlocking the fingers, press the palms away, reach up, lift the ribs, create some space, and exhale, fold the hands down. Two more, inhale, lift the hands, lift the ribs, maybe lift your gaze, and exhale, the hands come down through the midline. Inhale, press the palms away, reach up, and exhale, release. Beautiful. One last time, stretch the fingers wide, lift up, breathe in. Exhale, bringing the hands together. Inhale, press the palms away, reach up, stretch the hands up, and exhale, release. This time we're going to leave the right palm connected to the mat and sweep the left hand up. Palm facing in, leaning over. Breathing here. Any amount to lean over or stretch through the side body, keeping the sit bones connected. One more inhale. And on your exhale, draw back through the center. And we'll go straight to the other side. Plant the left hand on the mat, sweep the right hand up. Maybe even look up towards the right palm. Breathe in. And on your exhale, lean over any amount here. That beautiful stretch through the side body. Keep the arm that's lifted nice and strong. Fingers reach away. Smooth breath so the sit bones stay connected. One last inhale. And exhale back through center. And now we're going to come to use the chair. So coming forward onto hands and knees to start with, we're going to bring the chair over here onto the mat. So we want the chair to be facing us, and leaving as much distance as you need to for your baby between the chair. We're going to start by stepping the left foot forward. So the left toes point forward past the chair, the left knee comes alongside the chair, and just noticing as we move into this pose how much space you might need. So on your inhale, we're taking hold of the seat of the chair and leaning down into that knee. And on your exhale, we're going to draw the hips back, point the heel, draw the toes back towards the body, and create a flow here. We inhale, fold into that knee, into the hip flexor, and exhale to stretch back. Inhale, moving forward, lift the chest, fill the lungs, exhale, drawing baby back towards the spine, lift the toes, stretch into the back of the leg. 2 more like this. And again, creating any space that you need with the chair, you can push it further away from you. Just use it for some stability and balance as we move forward and back. Once more, inhale to reach forward, let the hips lower, lift the gaze, and exhale. And then bringing this knee back, we're going to step the right foot forward. And the same pose on this side. So softening down into that knee that's holding the balance, using the chair to keep you stable. We inhale, sink into that front hip. And exhale to rock the hips back, draw the toes back towards the body. Baby comes in towards the spine. Inhale. And as you exhale and draw back, maybe you can press the heel away. Does that create some more space? 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Lift in the chest when you inhale. Open in the heart. And 1 more. Inhale. Soften the shoulders and exhale. And now bringing the knees together, we're going to tuck the toes under and using the chair again for stability and balance. We're going to lift the knees and push the hips up and back to down dog. For down dog, step the feet as wide as the mat. Press the chair away. And keeping the arms active, we're pushing back towards the heels. This nice wide-legged stance allows plenty of space for the baby. Keeping the ears in line with the biceps. And stay with those deep breaths. You should feel a nice stretch down the back of the legs. 1 more inhale. And on your exhale, let's start moving it forward. Bring your feet about a foot's distance behind the chair, but keep the legs nice and wide again. So still as wide as the mat, still leaving space in there for baby. We're going to fold down over the legs, let the knees be bent, bring the fingers to the floor. And on your inhale, we're going to rise up, curling through the upper back. And bring the hands together at the top. Breathe in. And exhale, fold forward over bent knees. Bringing the hands down to the floor. Let the head be heavy, and on your inhale, roll up to standing. Sweep the arms up at the top. And exhale, fold. This time, taking the hands to the chair. Start to straighten out the legs, push the thigh bones back, and find a halfway lift here. So using the chair, we're going to find a flat back, take the gaze forward, push the thigh bones back. And exhale, release. And finding it again, inhale, a halfway lift. Feeling the sit bones spread, exhale, release. 1 more time, inhale. And exhale. And then from here, we're going to heel toe the feet together. So they're about hip distance apart. So around about the width of the chair. This time we're going to plant the left hand in the centre of the chair, right underneath the face, and we're going to allow the left knee to bend, the right leg stays straight. We take the right hand to the hip, and we're starting to open out to the side, this slow rotation of the upper body, so the hip stays stable. The right leg is straight and strong. And then bringing the hand back down to the chair, turning the body forward, we're going to go in the opposite direction. So this time the right hand comes to the centre of the chair, bend into the right knee, Left leg stays straight and the left hand comes to the hip, opening out to the side. Maybe taking your gaze up towards the ceiling if that feels okay on the neck. One more inhale here. And exhale, release back to center. Rolling up to standing. Now we're going to turn the chair around. And take a few standing poses using the chair here for stability and balance. So whichever side you've got the chair on, for me the chair's on my left side, I'm going to open out the right knee, bring the knee forward to hip height, keeping my right hand on the hip, and we're going to circle and open this leg. Bringing the knee around in a circle, open the hip, come back around. Nice and slow, feeling that movement. Once more, and then bringing the knees together, keeping the foot lifted. So we want to find some synchronicity in the hips. What's the word I'm looking for? We want to keep the hips straight. And now we're going to lift this leg out in a fire hydrant. So the knee, which is still bent, lifts out to the side and back down. Nice slow movement. So we're working into this standing leg, creating strength in that leg. You might start to feel that leg starting to fire up as we're turning on the glute in the standing leg, keeping this leg really stable. Stay with the breath. And then bringing the knees back together. We'll release that foot down. And here with the feet together, big toes touch, we're going to lift this right arm up, reach up towards the ceiling, and then start to bend over the chair. So finding this side stretch down the right side of the body here. Imagine lifting your right armpit up towards the ceiling. So we don't want to fold forward, we want to stretch into the side body. And bringing the hand back down. Now we're going to try a tree pose. So we're going to come up onto the tippy toes of this right foot and then turn the right knee outwards. So the heel comes inside the left ankle. Then I want you to think about pressing down through this left leg. So this is what's going to become a very strong tree. This left leg, switch on the glutes. Every part of the foot is connected to the floor. And with this bent leg, the right knee is opening out to the side, opening through this hip flexor. And this might be where you stay. Use the chair again for stability. This might be enough balance for you today. Balance changes every day in pregnancy. And if this feels like enough, then just honour that in your body. If you want to take it further, you can plant the right foot anywhere on the left leg that feels comfortable for you. So if it is in your practice to lift that foot high, then by all means go ahead and do it. If it's not already in your practice, this is not the time to introduce it. And then maybe you sweep the outer arm up, the right arm up. Maybe you can sweep up the left arm as well. Sometimes it's easier to keep the balance if we keep the hands pressed together at heart center. Smooth breaths. I want you to feel tall through the crown of the head. Imagine a string is drawing the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. That standing leg is creating that beautiful stability and balance. And as we breathe deeply here, know that as well as strengthening the leg, you're reducing any water that might be held there, any edema that you might be struggling with, and helping with your core balance. One more inhale. And then we'll exhale. Release the foot down. And you might feel nice to just pedal out the feet here. And then we're going to flip these chairs to the other side and do those poses on this side. So for me, this is my left leg. I'm going to keep my left hand on my hip because I find that it just helps me feel where my hips, where my pelvis is moving to. So bringing the knee up and out and around this one-legged hip circle, working into the hip, strengthening. These are the muscles, the adductor muscles on the inner thigh that your body is going to come to rely on in labour and birth. and the reason that strength is important through pregnancy. That we shouldn't stay sedentary. That we actually want to get moving in a safe way, strengthening the body. Then we bring the knees together, we try and keep the hips level. So the knees are level. And then we're going to slowly lift that knee to the side and back down. Fire hydrants. It took me a while to figure out why this particular pose is called a fire hydrant, because we look like dogs peeing in a fire hydrant. But it works, right? Whatever gets the strength into those inner thigh muscles. One more like this, lift and lower. And then bringing that foot down, but let's try and build the strength in the standing leg by just tapping the toes down. Rotate the knee outward, this external rotation. The left heel comes inside the right ankle. The left toes can press into the ground and then focus on the standing leg. Strengthen it, switch it on. Every part of it is going to turn on. Is this enough for you? If so, then we just bring the hands together at heart center, or we keep hold of the chair. If you want to plant the left foot somewhere on the right leg, we try to avoid the knee area. And then lift up the outer hand, stretching up. And this imagery of growing tall through the crown of the head. Find a spot on the wall or the carpet or out the window that is stable for you to focus on. Listen to the sound of your breath. Believe that you can create this strength and balance. And focus on it. 2 more breaths. We want the shoulders, the hips and the heels to be in a line, the crown of the head going tall. And on your next exhale, lower down the arms, lower down the leg. Pedal out the feet a little. And now we're going to sit. So of course, chairs are great for sitting too. For our seated poses, we want to scooch a little forward on the chair, so we're not leaning back on it. We're allowed to sit up tall. We're recruiting all the muscles around the core that help us to sit up tall. We're growing tall again through the crown of the head. The shoulders soften. And have the feet right underneath the knees. And we're going to start off with a version of a goddess pose. So heel toe the feet wide, toes point out. So your knees are widening any amount that's comfortable for you. Just find what works. Then we're going to bring the upper arms, the elbows down to the inner thighs, just inside the knees. We flip the palms up, and once we're here, we want to again grow tall through the crown of the head so the heart center is drawing forward. Tuck your chin, look down towards the floor, let the spine lengthen, and breathe. Those smooth, deep breaths. We want to find connection between the elbows and the inner thighs. So the legs are pushing back against the elbows are widening the legs, we're creating strength. Now we're going to take it into another side stretch, so we lift the left arm up, sweep it up and reach, breathe in, and exhale back to center. Inhale, the right arm reaches up, look up inside the elbow if it feels okay, exhale back to center. And keep moving with each side, pressing the legs wide. Imagine drawing the knees towards the pinky toes. Inhale to reach. Exhale to center. Once more each side. And then back to center and hold. Now we're going to reach the right arm forward. Stretch the fingers forward as if you're reaching for a cup of coffee from your neighbor. Release that arm back down and switch sides. Reach the hand forward, stretching through that arm, keeping the legs strong, and release down. And now doing both arms at the same time. Reach forward, hold, the shoulders soften away from the ears. And then coming up to feet. Now we're going to walk the feet back together about hip distance apart. And we're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. So taking this gently, see what feels good in your leg. If you can get your right ankle up over the left knee, we're going to draw the toes back on the right foot. And this right leg, we could hold on to the right knee here. You can place your hand there, you can press it down gently. But we're going to start off sitting up straight, tall, lengthening through the spine. And take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, start to tip forward from the hips, so your upper body starts to move towards your shin bone. This is where you might press that knee away gently. We want to start feeling on the outside of this right hip, the stretch. And you want to get to a place where the stretch is at an edge of a stretch, so it feels deep but not painful. One more inhale here. And on your exhale, sit a little further forward. And then coming back up to seated. We're going to bring that foot down and switch sides straight away. So the left toe stay activated. We want to keep this foot drawing back towards the knee, which is going to protect the knee from any damage here. And if you do have any pain in your knee, then options for this pose are to keep it low, straighten out the leg, open this hip. But if this feels comfortable, inhaling while we sit up tall, and exhale to tip from the hips, and find that stretch. Now for me, I find that stretch much faster on the left side. I have a much tighter side here, and I can feel that really nice juicy stretch. Keep the shoulders softening away from the ears. With your exhales, get a little closer to that leg. Now sitting up nice and tall. Release that leg down. And then just sway the legs a little left to right. Now from here, girls, we're going to try a seated warrior two. So this, to get into our seated warrior two, we come to sit sideways on the chair and then scooch right back on the chair. So you want the chair to be coming into the back of your knees on the side. You can take your left arm to the side. And then we're going to open out this right leg and sweep it back. Press down through the right leg. So the outer edge of that right foot starts to seal down towards the ground. This right leg stays straight and strong. The left ankle is underneath the left knee, so just take a moment to check that you have the right alignment here. And draw baby in towards the spine. The habit in Warrior 2 is that we let our lower back become a bit more lordotic. So we want to draw baby in towards the spine. Stretch the hands in opposite directions. So the left fingers reach forward, the right hand reaches back. Soften through the fingers. And take your gaze over the front hand. Soften through the shoulders. Let the shoulders release away from the ears. And now activate the legs. Imagine drawing the thighs together. Grow tall through the crown of the head. Now flip the front palm up towards the ceiling. Let the right hand rest on the back leg. We're going to turn this into a gentle reverse warrior. So start to lift the left hand up. And maybe you just reach up towards the ceiling and pause here. It might feel nice if you reach a little further back, but always moving in your own range of motion. So maybe you can create a little back bend here, but notice how that feels in the front of the body for baby, if it feels like too much extension through the side body. And always know that the option is to release back out of the pose a little. Take a breath. One more inhale. And then releasing the hands back through Warrior 2. We're going to take one final seated version of a standing pose. We're going to bring the front elbow to the front knee, turn the palm up towards the ceiling, and then this back arm starts to flow up and over the body. so that your bicep comes alongside the ear, and we're reaching the right fingers away towards that side wall. Extended side angle, roll the right shoulder back. So baby is opening to the side of your mat. And again, activate the thighs. Draw the thighs together, keep that back leg strong. Even though it's not holding your balance on the floor, it's still stretching back. And this last part of the pose, see if you can take your gaze inside your upper elbow. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. One more inhale here. And exhale to move back through warrior two, just briefly. Lower the hands down. And we're going to switch sides. So to switch sides, we're going to start off bringing this back leg to meet the front. Sitting sideways on the chair and take a breath here, grounded and centering. And then we'll spin. Always be mindful that because of the hormone relaxing that's in the ligaments, you've got extra stretchability. So we need to move and transition carefully. So this time, the chair is at the back of the knees, the left foot reaches back. And we connect the foot to the floor and find what works for you here. Front heel is under the front ankle. That's not right. The front heel is under the front knee. Then stretching the arms forwards and backwards, soften the fingers, release the shoulders, draw baby in towards the spine, and activate the legs. Breathing deeply. One more inhale. And then flip that front palm up, the backhand comes to the back of the leg, and we slowly reach the hands up. Lift up towards the ceiling, lifting the ribs, creating some space in there for baby. And take a deep full breath here. And on your exhale, bend into that front elbow, bring the elbow to the knee and start to reach up and over for extended side angle. Roll the left shoulder back and the right shoulder under, so we start to open to the side. Draw the thighs together, take the gaze up to inside the elbow. And one last inhale here. And we exhale. Bring the hands down. Bring the back leg forward, nice gentle movement. And from here we're going to stand and then come to seated. So our last pose now, we're going to take child's pose on the chair, and this is such a nice pose in pregnancy. The chair helps us keep the chest elevated so we don't collapse down onto baby. So for child's pose, the knees come wide as the mat, if that feels good for you. The feet come together, we sit back on the heels, and let's have the chair within reachable distance. So we start off sitting up tall. I like to start with the palms of the hands on the chair, and I just allow my hands to slide forward, keeping the chest lifted, keeping the spine long. And once my elbows get to the chair, fold the elbows over, and then let my forehead relax on to the upper arms. And then release. And what you'll notice here in pregnancy is it might become a little too scrunchy in the lower back. And if that happens, you can see that my lower back is extended quite a lot into lordosis. You can draw baby up towards the spine, turn the tailbone down towards the heels. So you settle the lower back and the pelvis into a more natural position, something that's a bit more supported. And then release the head. And then relax the upper arms. Try and let the body be heavy. And stay in with those deep breaths. So think about lifting and opening the ribcage on your inhale. And as you sit in this child's pose, the pelvic floor is stretched and extended. This is a really good way to try and connect to any movement in the pelvic floor. If you inhale into the ribs, and exhale, soften the breath down. And as you take these breaths, with your inhale, the pelvic floor is descending towards the heels. With your exhale, it's naturally moving away from the heels. So let's try a little breath pattern here that's called flower bloom breath. With your inhale, I want you to imagine that there's a flower blooming out of your pelvic floor towards the mat. And with your exhale, imagine keeping that flower in bloom, so any movement in the pelvic floor is held in that position. So your inhale, imagine that flower, whatever flower you want to imagine, is blooming out of the pelvic floor towards the mat. And on your exhale, you're just holding that sensation, holding that flower in bloom. And stay with this breath pattern for the next 3 breaths. Check in with the body, make sure you're still softening. If at any time during your day you can come back to this practice of flower bloom breath, it's actually a release of the pelvic floor, which is really useful for labour and birth. And if you don't feel any movement in the pelvic floor, please don't be concerned. That is perfectly natural. If you have any concerns about your pelvic floor or you wanted to learn more, please contact your local pelvic health physiotherapist. I highly recommend seeing one pre-birth. One more breath like this. And then we're going to slowly roll up to seated. And find ourselves back in a cross-legged pose. So I'm going to move this chair off the mat. Now if we were in a prenatal class, in my studio here, we would be using the props, the bolsters, to get you guys in a really comfortable Shavasana pose. But because I don't know what props you have at home, I'm going to put you in a version of Shavasana which can feel really nice in pregnancy for a lot of people. So taking the knees to the side, we're going to come down to lie on the left side. So basically, side lying. We're shifting the hips so that they stack on top of each other, the knees stack on top of each other. It can feel really nice to put a pillow here. So I know that this is a pose that most of you guys are taking in bed every night, one of the few poses that you are actually comfortable and allowed to do. But maybe using this pose on a hard floor feels a little bit different. And then you can use your upper arm to rest your head on, allowing baby to roll forward a little. So baby becomes your anchor here on the ground. And the feet are together. And just let the body soften. Coming back to those deep breaths, hear the sound of the breath moving through your ears. Sliding across the back of the throat, filling the ribs. Bringing your awareness to the breath. It's the constant in your body. It's the way that we can control moments of discomfort. It's the way that we can reduce anxiety in every part of our daily life, to stop and take some deeper breaths. And as you move through your labour and birth, it's a constant that's there for you, that can guide you. I'm going to leave you guys here now to rest in Shavasana for as long as you would like to rest. Take these moments of rest whenever you can in your pregnancy. We lead such busy lives. We don't take enough time to slow down and think about what is best for us, and sometimes there's a lot of guilt attached to that. So trying to release any feelings of what you need to be doing. Just soften here. Listen to your breath. Listen to what your body and your soul needs. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.